RPTH B30 respiratory student colleagues, looking forward to working with you. And in this video session, I just want to go over the course syllabus and just all the expectations to get you started. So, certainly please refer to this as you start and, of course, go through the course. So once you log in, which you've already done, you'll get to this homepage, and this homepage really is just a landing page and has links to just different pieces that you might need. Okay? But ultimately, you just want to go through the modules as you're going from week to week. And you'll see here, there's a link to the syllabus, and the syllabus will open up. Or you can download the syllabus and make a copy and just have it available. And I encourage you to do that so that you can refer to the syllabus and the course schedule just to get an idea from week to week and overall how things are going to move forward. You will be taking this course paired with Counseling B10 with Lorraine DeMello. And she and I are working collaboratively as well. And we have 2 assignments that will pair up so that it's one assignment for you, but will meet expectations of both courses. And I'll talk about that when I talk about the assignments in the syllabus itself. So we'll also have 2 synchronous sessions on the 2nd week and the 9th week of this course. And that will happen on Wednesdays from 5 to 7 p.m. So let me go on ahead and open up the syllabus. And so you are now, of course, in the 2nd term of the program itself. So congratulations on finishing term 1 and getting term 2. Here's the general information just about myself here. My email address is hernandezr@smccd.edu. And I can be reached either within the Canvas inbox there. So the Canvas inbox, I think you might be situated the same way I am to the left, so you can contact me. And I'll usually respond within 24 hours, maybe 48 hours on the weekend, but 24 hours to your email. I am checking them on a daily basis in terms of that inbox. Or, of course, you can email me directly. I also will be holding office hours via Zoom, and those will happen on Wednesdays, either 4 to 5 or 5 to 6 p.m. And usually 5 to 6 p.m. unless we are doing our online sessions, which are, as I said, on the 2nd and 9th Wednesday of the course, and that will be October 25th. And December 13th from 5 to 7. And both Lorraine and I will be in there for the 2 hours, and we'll be co-facilitating shared content during those days. And just want to remind you that it is a requirement as part of the course. And certainly for my course, there is an in-class assignment that is linked to these sessions. So if you don't make it to the session, you won't get the points associated with them, okay? And I just want to make that very clear because it's important that you are certainly doing the work asynchronously and you're doing the work synchronously. So when you get into these synchronous sessions, they are working sessions. It won't be providing lecture to you. We will be having you work in the assignments that really are going to scaffold and lead up to the final project. So just very important that you're there. If you can't be there for whatever reason, certainly understand that happens, but you won't get the points associated with it. And again, it's not going to affect your overall grade significantly. So, I treat these things the same way as if you were employed and your time that you're scheduled to do, you need to be there to get paid. And of course, payment here is your academic grade. So again, if you miss one session, it's not going to have an overall impact with your grade overall. Okay. So we'll talk a little bit more about the sessions as we move forward. Just to let you know, this course does not require you to purchase any textbooks. All the materials that we will be utilizing are open resource materials that I will have garnered from open sources. So there'll be articles, websites, publications, and those will be embedded in the course shell for you to gain access easily. We also will be using one or two articles from the Respiratory Care Journal, our Blue Journal in our profession. And again, if you've not become member of your state and national professional organizations, I strongly encourage you to do that. It is worth the investment. It gives you a voice. And really, as a professional, it's our obligation to participate in our profession beyond just having a job and working. I'll ask you also to do some research through the library when you are completing your assignments and discussion boards. I'll ask you to do some research on your own and provide that research back to those assignments and discussion boards. So I think in term one, you've had the opportunity to do that. And again, we'll review a little bit of that during our first synchronous session. And of course, I will have office hours that you can tap into if you need one-on-one support so that I can help you facilitate these things. Overall, this course is looking at principles of health education, and really it is a project-based course. Of course, all of our courses are project-based. And ultimately, if we think about this course, I'm really framing this course and what we're teaching you. And so this course has been designed in a backwards design, meaning really looking at overall, what is it that we want you to accomplish and gain competency to? And those are the student learning outcomes. So the broad overarching ideas, concepts, competencies that we want you to leave with. So, overall, we're going to provide you this framework for understanding concepts to facilitate effective teaching and learning that will ultimately be able to design curriculum and be able to really help people learn concepts and learn overall competencies. Okay? And so our student learning outcomes that we're looking at overall is you're going to really look at learning theory and concepts and be able to apply those as you complete your assignments and final project. We're going to have you develop a module in a lesson, and that lesson is going to be an hour at minimum in length, and that's going to include outcomes, objectives, content, skills, and abilities, and then assessment and evaluation. So we're going to be looking at all of that stuff, and by the end of this course, you are going to build that. And so while this course is only 9 weeks and for you to be able to develop it and offer it, we won't get to the offering place. However, we're going to have you really think and work in pairs for building this final project to something that would be useful for you. So certainly, if it's something that in your workplace you need to develop and offer, well, this could meet that need. But ultimately, if it's not going to be offered, we still want you to do something that's going to be meaningful and provide value to you in your learning and something that would be applicable in your future professional career. So those are the overarching outcomes. Now, as we're then digging into how we're going to do that, then we're going to have some objectives that will carry you through this course. And so we're going to be talking a little bit about health education. We're going to be looking at learning theories. We're going to then be identifying and designing and implementing some sort of formal or informal learning module that will include the materials and assessment methods. We'll look at platforms that help you do that, whether it's in a brick and mortar classroom or whether it's virtually, such as what we're doing here today and through this class. And then we're going to be looking at various teaching and learning techniques that you can utilize to engage the learners. And again, we're going to be employing these in this course, and we're going to be modeling and having you practice some of these during our synchronous sessions. And then assessment technique. So those are all the things that you're going to see that you're going to be doing weekly, learning about, and then applying in assignments. And again, I want you to know that many of those assignments that you're going to be doing are then going to be scaffolding the final project. So you're going to be doing your final project throughout this course with course refinement, and then completing that project and presenting that project in our classroom synchronous format. In week 9. Our methods of instruction, we're going to be doing lecture and activity and discussion and case scenarios through the virtual asynchronous portion. And then again, remember, we have 2 live sessions, and those live sessions are also part of the curriculum, and there is part of a grade associated, and I'll talk about what the percentage is for that. Remember, it falls on the 2nd and 9th Wednesday from 5 to 7. And these are what you'll be doing, of course, through all terms. So I'd encourage you strongly to identify those if you haven't already, and make sure that you are available for them and that obligations don't get in the way of these. Now, in your first term, you performed discussion boards. And so the discussion boards, we try to format pretty consistently through the program, but I want to be just very clear about what we're doing here. And so you will have a discussion board each week. That discussion board will relate to the content that you'll be engaging in, and then you'll be discussing with this course, your student colleagues and myself throughout the week. And so what will happen is every Monday, a module will open for each week, and I'll have that at the end of the syllabus. We'll talk about that. With that, then your discussion board will open on Monday. Then you'll have till Thursday at the end of the day, 11:59 p.m. to complete an initial response. So the prompt will be there. It will give very specific detail about what you need to do. And so then that will be the first deadline for everybody to meet at 11:59. Then follow-up responses then start on Friday. And I want to be very clear about, don't do any follow-up responses until after the end of Thursday, so not until Friday. And the reason why is we want everybody to have a chance to provide an initial response, and then we want everybody to have a chance to review the initial responses and then respond to usually it's about 2 initial responses after that. So then that gives you ample time from Friday through Sunday at the end of Sunday, 11:59 p.m. to respond. So just a reminder, initial response by Thursday, 11:59 p.m. No follow-up responses until that first deadline has been achieved. And then usually about 2 follow-up responses. And then the final due date is 11:59 Sunday. Okay. And again, that's really for everybody to benefit, for everybody to be able to contribute, and for everybody to be able to respond to all the contributions. Now, again, course attendance, we know that's we're in a virtual format. And so when we're looking at course attendance, the recommendation is that you should probably log on no fewer than 3 times per week. And that on average, you're looking at about 5 hours of total engagement in the course. And I would say that's through the discussion boards and through the assignments, okay? And so just plan on that for this course. And of course, weekly, I'll be sending some messaging just to keep us on track and um, uh, be available in that way proactively. And then, of course, via office hours if you have questions. And as I've mentioned, my office hours are going to be on Wednesdays in the afternoon, and that gives ample time for you to get started with the week's work and start to build up questions. So hopefully the Wednesday works out. Okay. Um, Now, if you're not participating, so I'll be watching just to see how long you're logged in, you're doing your work, and if not, you may hear from me proactively if I'm seeing that you're falling behind. And again, I would expect the same with you if you're finding challenge in carving out time and meeting your obligations. Feel free to get a hold of me proactively as opposed to reactively so that we can help you brainstorm about it. And again, I'm going to talk about assignment submissions here. So, our discussions wouldn't be to delay. Our discussions would be, well, what do we need to do to stay caught up and on track? So this is really building professional demeanor, professional skills, and really being able to meet expectations of whatever you do in your professional life. And again, you're currently a respiratory care student, which is your professional obligation. Now, as we look at assignments, we've identified the assignments and the deadlines because we're scaffolding the work that you're doing so that you can contribute to the community of learners and that people can benefit from you, and that, of course, you can be successful in meeting either individual assignment expectations or paired assignment expectations. So again, notice that on the assignment submission, we're looking at meet the assignment submission. If you don't, then late work will have a 10% deduction for every 24 hours that. So, if you're late once or twice through this course, it's not going to have any significant impact on your final grade. But if the behavior is continued lateness, then it is going to have an impact on the grade. So again, I can help you with figuring out how to carve out time, strategies for making it on time for all of the requirements of this class. Again, I'll get to you proactively, maybe reactively if it's a continued behavior. And the same holds true, get a hold of me proactively, and that's a good skill. This is just a list on the syllabus of just online class conduct. So again, as I'm communicating with you, I'm communicating with you in a professional demeanor. Certainly I have expectations, and in those expectations, our conversations will be, hopefully, I want them to be, is certainly an area where we can speak objectively, we can speak professionally, and then we can certainly provide discussion feedback in a way that fosters a collaborative discussion and support. Okay? And again, we can disagree. That's okay. In life, we don't agree on things. And it's really being able to do that in a way that people feel like they've been heard and people feel like they can be supported to move forward. And again, you as a student, your obligation here in this course is to learn, and to learn in a way that you are going to meet the student learning outcomes at the end. My obligation is to support you in that learning and facilitate effective teaching and learning. And in that, I'll be objective, I'll listen. And when I listen, I still will come back to the syllabus and how we navigate this course, okay? So again, review this conduct policy because the framework is there so that we're able to both do our jobs as we're moving forward. And again, as we move forward, academic integrity is important. And the way I frame academic integrity is you're here to learn. And in learning, there are certain expectations for assignments. There are certain expectations in how you conduct yourself here. And so that integrity really is that professionalism that we look at. And so for you to learn, it's important that you do the work. And doing the work doesn't mean that you, let me reframe that. Doing your work means that you can utilize resources that are out there, but then you make those resources your own. You review those resources, you glean what you can for those, and then you build, you construct something out of that. Okay? And we use APA format so that if you're using others' work verbatim, then you can include that and disclose that. Okay. And so again, that's kind of, I know that there's a gray area in that. And of course, we'll have conversations as you submit work, as you're working, as you submit work, and I give you feedback. Okay. So now with the course evaluation, here's the summary. And of course, I haven't gone over the week by week. That'll be at the end of the syllabus. But I just want you to know, okay, well, what is expected of you in terms of production? Well, each week, 9 weeks, we'll have a discussion board. And that discussion board is worth 10 points each. However, the points themselves per unit certainly are going to accumulate. But just remember, regardless of how much each assignment is worth, the total is going to be worth 30% of your grade. So almost 1/3 of your grade is this collaborative discussion that takes place weekly. So again, you want to engage in that weekly and you want to put your best foot forward. And I'll talk about the rubrics on that. So let me stop there and just go to one of the discussions. And so under the home landing pages, which when you log on, you'll always start there. You'll see that there are links to just various things. But really, just click on the modules. You can do that under the link within the context of the page or on the navigation sidebar as modules. Either way will get you there. And of course, in your first module, at the top will always be just course resources. And as we move forward, I'll be adding resources of examples or other things where it's going to be helpful throughout the course as opposed to each module. And then each module will open up week 1, and it will have just overall be situated with an overview. It will have the instructional content. It will have the discussion board, and it will have the assignment, and then just wrap up and any other messages there. But I want to go to the discussion board and just talk about that just very quick. So with the discussion board, when you click on it and you've done these discussion boards overall, it will give you the specific instructions of what you need to do for the initial follow-up responses and deadlines. Remember to meet the deadlines. I'm going to emphasize yet again, initial responses are due by Thursday at the end of the day. And again, no follow-up responses until this first initial deadline is over. And then the follow-up responses by Sunday at the end of the day. And then when you look at the evaluation, we'll be using the same rubric. And up at the top of your discussion board, you'll see that there are these 3 dots here. And when you click on those 3 dots, you'll see that there is a rubric associated with the discussion board. And so I will be using this rubric to do your grading weekly. And you'll notice that for timeline, same thing holds true, that you'll be graded on timeliness and lose 10% of the grade if you're not being timely for the initial and subsequent response. And so you'll notice again, there are essentially, I think, 5 categories, and I'll be using those categories to grade each of the discussions. So again, this is a useful tool, so you know exactly what will be expected of you in those discussions. Synchronous classes, as I said, there are 2 synchronous classes. With each of those, there are in-class assignments that can only be done in class for credit. Okay, so again, that's the incentive to get you to class and to think about how to do your best to get to these sessions. Again, there are only 2 in the 9 weeks, and it's for only a 2-hour period. So again, if you're having challenge with those, let me know and we can have a discussion. But again, the syllabus contract states that. Again, if you miss one, it's not going to have a huge impact of your grade because overall this is only worth 10% of your grade. But if you miss both of them, then that could drop your grade by 1 grade level. Again, you get past the class, but again, an impact if you can't meet. But 1 in itself, won't have a huge impact on your grade. Each week we'll have assignments. Now remember, you can see there are 8 weekly assignments that lead to the final written project. And so notice 6 of those weekly assignments are part of your final project. So just to say we don't want to make more work for you, we're scaffolding so that the work that you're doing throughout the course really come together to meet the student learning outcomes of building a module, okay? And again, we have discussion boards, all the assignments, which are 8, and the final written project, each of those are 30% of your grade, 1/3, almost 1/3 of your grade, and of course the synchronous class assignments. Grading scale, again, depends on, how all of those come up. Canvas will keep track of that, so you can keep track of that as we move forward in the class, and you can see where you stand. A C or better, of course, is the threshold that needs to be past the class. I'm confident as long as you're engaged in the class and you're doing the work, you will pass the class and get the grade that you are looking for based on the amount of effort you're putting in. Okay. And then, of course, we're in term 2, but again, if you're finding challenge with some learning challenges and you've never been assessed for accommodations, you can always look at those accommodations and you can reach the Educational Access Center. Okay. Or so if you have any questions in terms of that piece, you can contact me, we can meet and chat about it. Just want to let you know the way in which we assess your work is really trying to do it in a real world application. We don't have any tests that are timed, that are individual. You are able to do the work and submit the work without any time frame being. And again, we're having it be in the form of project-based learning, meaning that you're constructing things that hopefully will be meaningful. And whether or not, you're going to become an educator as respiratory care practitioners, we're always, part of our job is always educating. And so I'm sure that you're going to come up with some elements out of this class that will be helpful in the work that you do, whether it's a formal or informal. So, all right, that was the syllabus. So now let's talk about the meat of the course itself. So in the last page of the syllabus, it's broken down into each week. So I first want to start in week 1, and that's what's open right now. And in week 1, we're looking at the topic area of intro and education focused on. So just a general overview just to get your palate wet and get your juices flowing to health education. Each week is going to be structured the same. Your assignments will be as follows. You'll have some readings and videos that you'll need to digest first. So that's the first step when you log on. And of course, Monday morning, that module will be available. In actuality, 2 modules will always be available at a time. The module that you'll be working on for that week will have opened up the previous week. And then the module that you're looking forward to next week will be opened up a week early on Monday. So you'll always have the module that you're working on open, and then the next module so that you can look forward to what it is that you can expect and plan, because I know our schedules could be busy. Well, Ray, why don't you open up all the modules? And the answer to that is that this work builds upon each other and scaffolds. And while you might be able to do some things, all of this is set to scaffold upon based on what you've learned in that previous week. So I think a good compromise for your learning and for my ability to direct effective instruction is that you have the module that you're working on, but you have the future module. And even in the future module, I don't encourage you to start doing the work itself, but maybe you can prepare the work, doing your readings and videos, thinking about the discussion board, but not really, and thinking about the assignment, but not even starting those pieces of the assignments until the week actually starts on Monday. Okay. So for week one, for each week, it'll be readings and videos, and of course, a discussion board. And we've talked about the discussion board deadlines. 2 times in which you enter, one for initial response, one for follow-up responses, okay? Then there's going to be some sort of assignment that, that you'll do based on that topic area. And so for this first week, how you learn best. So really, this is a reflective assignment for you just to think about what you know about education, whether you've been an educator or whether you've been a learner. We've all been learners for most of our lives. And so it's getting you to think about and reflect about how you best learn. So as we move forward to how to then initiate effective teaching and learning, we start with our experiences, okay? Then as you move forward, again, the deadline will always be that your assignments, so your discussion board, will be due at the end of Sunday at 11:59 of that week. And then, of course, the assignment that you do will also be due at the end of that week on Sunday at 11:59 p.m. And again, when you open up the assignment topic area, it'll give specific instructions. Most of the assignments will have some rubrics associated with them, so you know what it is that you need to complete. How you learn best, there's not much of a rubric. It's more of a reflective assignment. And as long as you follow the directions, you'll gain credit on them. Okay. And so again, that's what you'll be working on this coming week. And then week 2 will be opened up, of course, 7 days before it's actually starting. And again, the cycle begins. Now notice in week 1, how you learn best, which is the assignment, the written assignment that you'll turn in is in black. And then notice in week 2, the assignment that you'll turn in, your learning module proposal, is in green, and the 3 project ideas for discussion, which is the synchronous session, is also in green. And the reason why this is in green is anything that's in green are the assignments that scaffold up for your final project. So again, important that you do these and do them successfully. We'll give you feedback. I'll give you feedback. You may have a peer review to give you feedback so that you're refining them before you turn in your final project. So week 2 is about learning theories. Again, same holds true with readings and videos and discussion board. And then your identified of course, we have a synchronous session that week, and so there's a new process. With that. Week 3, we have developmental stages and learning objectives. The assignment that'll be associated with that will, again, scaffold up to your own project, and that's student learning outcomes and objectives. Week 4, we'll be looking at learner attributes and just how you engage students in teaching and learning. And the weekly assignment is an educator interview. Now notice that it's in black, so that's really not part of the overall. So it's again, contacting an educator. And in this one, again, we'll ask you to set up a meeting with a full-time educator, and whether that's in the clinical setting or the academic setting. And again, in the assignment, there are a list of questions we have. We want you to formulate some questions, and then you'll write up your reflection from that interview. And it'll give you a chance to get a perspective from somebody who's a full-time educator. Week 5, we're going to look at instructional methods and materials. So you'll be developing that. And again, the weekly assignment, scaffolding the final project. Week 6, educational technology. And again, this is Thanksgiving week. Notice, yay. Thank you, Ray. I'm not giving you a weekly assignment. So just kind of ease it up a little bit, but I'll just say that the module content probably you'll be working on more. And so it'll give you a chance to go back to the module content and any the other scaffolding assignments that you've done where you've gotten feedback, you can work on those pieces. Week 7, motivation and evaluation, and we'll look at assessment tools and evaluation surveys that you would do for your module. And then week 8, educational philosophy and reflections. And so this will give you a chance after you've gotten to digest almost all of the material in this course. You'll build an educational philosophy after learning and after reflecting. You will be able to build your own educational philosophy that fits your personality, but is grounded in theory. And then week 9, we have the final session, and that's when you will put all of this together for your blended project. So when you get to the blended project learning module that you complete, you will have already completed all the components, and now it's a matter of putting it together. I know you might have questions about this project, but there are only just a couple of things I want to say right now with that. Is one, the blended project learning module that you do will be done in pairs. So all the assignments that are in green, you will have chosen a student colleague to work with for all of these things. And so after sometime this first week, I'll go on ahead and send out a message and just how to identify that and some things to get prepared for our first synchronous session. So stay tuned on that. You'll hear from me shortly. Okay. The other piece I just want to say is for the blended project. The reason why I say it's blended is because there's going to be a component that you'll be doing for Lorraine's class as well. And again, it's one assignment that's integrated, and she will be grading a certain portion of assignment, and I'll be grading the remainder of this. So again, we're trying to get you to see how these two courses connect, okay? And then, of course, in our final synchronous session, there is a presentation that you will do. And for the final project and the presentation, probably halfway through the course, I will give you a template that you can use so you're not trying to have to figure it out on. All right. So just to say, going back to all of this, I hope this was helpful. And I just want to do some navigation items first off. So again, when you log in, we'll have the home screen. I'll be giving you weekly announcements as we're moving forward, just to expand. You can always click on the module area. You will have always 2 modules opened up at one time. The module you'll be working on, and then next week's module. Again, I want to caution you not to do any major work on a future module, but just get an idea of what you're going to be exploring. Okay. For me, I usually will give you feedback within 48 to 72 hours from when you submit your assignment, closer to 48 hours. Again, we have 2 synchronous sessions, and I just want to say again on the navigation bar on the left for your Zoom sessions, all of the Zoom sessions have been programmed. So here's where you would find your link for the 2 synchronous sessions on Wednesday, October 25th and Wednesday, December 13th. And then you'll notice all the rest of the sessions are the office hours. So note that most of them for office hours are from 5 to 6 p.m. But on the days that we have a synchronous session, I schedule it just before from 4 to 5 p.m. Okay. Anything else? Final project, as I said. So again, the synchronous session. For the first synchronous session, I'll have some information for you to digest to get ready. But right now already, you can start thinking about and approach any student colleague in the course and start getting a commitment from somebody who would work with you for, again, all of the uh, for the final project, and of course, all of the assignments that are in green that lead up to that. So that would be the group work in this course that you would be working on. So in this case, going to give an opportunity for you to decide. Okay. So again, stay tuned for more information on that first synchronous session and some components around how to get prepared for that first synchronous session. But I'd say right now, you can go on ahead and secure the person you would like to work with and have a chance to meet your cohort. And I look forward to seeing who you decide. Again, if you don't proactively do that, I'll see who's left, and it'll be the luck of the draw in that way. So you get to lead your destiny of who you work with. All right. Okay, I'm sure I didn't get everything, but please do get started. If you have any questions, again, I will have my first synchronous session on Wednesday, October 18th, in terms of office hours synchronous session. All you need to do is just log on, show up. You'll be put in a waiting room. If I have somebody already in the office hour, and then I'll okay. All right. Look forward to working with you, and we're going to make this journey together. And I'm sure I'm going to learn from you as well. Okay. Let's go.